Escape from Tarkov and DMZ are not really comparable games. Their game loops and mechanics are so far afield of one another that even though they might scratch the same itch, they do it in completely different ways. But that doesn't mean that ideas from one game can't be translated to another. After pushing a little over 100 hours in DMZ, I came up with 5 ideas that I think Tarkov can benefit from if they take them from DMZ and implement them properly. The first of these is mostly a quality of life feature. In DMZ, quests are shared with everybody in your squad. Do you not need thumb drives, but your buddy does? Doesn't matter. You can still extract and get the benefit or the money from extracting with a thumb drive, and it'll count towards his quest. Do you have a killing bad guys quest? In DMZ, even if you both have the quest and you're both killing separate guys, if your buddy kills 2 and you kill 1, you both end up with 3 kills of the bad guys. You don't even need to be around. If there's a task in DMZ that requires you to run over people with a car, if your guy's on the other side of the map running over players, that counts towards your quest. And the beauty of this is your buddy gets the XP for killing stuff, but you still get the credit for your task. Now, shared quest completion has some other benefits that come in DMZ as well. Let's say you die in your buddy's extract. Well, if they extract with a weapon case, which isn't necessarily quest specific, but they extract with items, it doesn't matter what it is, it counts towards your quest as long as somebody in the squad extracts. So think about that towards Tarkov. You're running around interchange and you get mowed down by Killa and your buddy kills him, because that's pretty often how Killa fights go, is somebody has to be the guinea pig, but you don't get credit. Well, with a system like this, if your buddy at least gets the kill, at least you get that check in the box. You might not have his helmet and still have to do that part, but at least you made progress. And then quests, just like thumb drives. It's funny that DMZ has quests too. I don't think that's a coincidence, but everybody who's played Tarkov at some point gets hung up on thumb drives. I don't care who you are. You're stuck trying to find them. You have to craft them. You get one, but you die and it's not found in raid. So instead of like you're in a raid and you find 2 and your buddy finds 1 and you got to go back in and find 3 more that time. So he has 2 and you have 1. You'd both be done with you having 2 and him having 1 because of the additive effect of quests. And honestly, I don't think this would be too hard to implement. I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know. But it sounds simple enough to me because you're just adding on to existing framework. Now, the next one is a lot more complicated, and that is adding revives. Now, the revive system is very, very important to how DMZ flows. It's a huge part of the game, and making sure that when you die, you're not sitting around waiting for your buddies right away. Now, in Tarkov, when you die, you're done. You're either going to go run a scav raid and wait for your buddies to extract, or you're going to go run another raid by yourself, or you're just going to sit there and watch them through Discord as they play out the rest of their raid. Even in a limited mechanic, like let's say you can't revive somebody who gets headshot for, this balance of realism in gameplay, but having some kind of limited mechanic in there where you can pick your buddy up, even if he's heavily limped, like you've got a permanent black leg or something, you got to limp your way all the way to extract. That would be so much better and adds such a good dynamic to Tarkov that I think it would make it more appealing to players. Now, DMZ takes us to the extreme, obviously. It doesn't matter what kind of kill you get. You can kill somebody 5 times and they can still be revived. And I'm not saying Tarkov should go to this extreme, but I think there's a place in there that Tarkov can go to that has a good system for revives. And yes, I know Nikita has mentioned this in the past and talked about it, especially with incapacitation and stuff, but we haven't seen any indication that it's going to be coming soon. It's one of those soon TM kind of deals that could end up on the chopping block and we don't have. So I thought it was still worth bringing up in this list. Now, number 3 is one of the things that I think is the most fun in DMZ for me, and that is the in-raid missions, not the ones, the tasks that you get from the pre-raid screen, but the little cell phones and stuff that you find when you're in the game. And there's some of them that don't even have cell phones, technically killing the 3 bosses that are on the map, the helicopter, the bio guy, or the guy in the radiation, or the boss that's the juggernaut and gives the weapon case. Those are all 3 kind of tasks. But specifically the cell phones, they're not really random. They kind of spawn on random spots, but the tasks themselves aren't random. But you pick one up and it just adds a little bit of flavor to your in-game raid. You can skip them if you want, or if you're looking for money or something else, these in-game tasks give you a chance to do that. And think of it like this. This is just one example of it. You're in dorms and you hear some radio chitter chatter, some crackling sound or whatever, and you go up to, let's say, 3-story 201. Sitting on the table there's a radio, and you pick it up and it's Skier telling you that he wants you to take a box that's hidden under the bed and he wants you to go put it in the white car over in the storage area behind Big Red. Get it done, you get some kind of reward with him, and maybe he even gives you a extract over there by RUAF. Regardless of where you're at, you get an extract opened up for you so you can get out. The potential here is high. There's so much inside Tarkov that you could do with this because of the way the game is set up itself. I think it's just an awesome place that BSG could take the game. These tasks could lead to some crazy rare guns or daily discounts from the specific trader you're doing. You get stuff a little bit cheaper. And like I said, provide an alternate extract, which would be super useful sometimes when you know somebody's between you and the extract you need to get to. Now, number 4 kind of builds on the last one a little bit, and it's focal points. And we kind of get these in Tarkov with events, but in DMZ, we have the 3 bosses, and they act as gravitation points to bring players together, some more than others. A chemist, because of his M13B, which is the MCX, that's how you unlock it, is through him. The Juggernaut, who drops a weapon case, which gives experience and unlocks stickers and tags and other, cosmetic stuff like that. And then the Helo boss, that when you shoot him down, he drops a crate, basically a care package crate, if you will, that has tons of really good loot in it, good guns, kill streaks, things like that. And since BSG kind of already does these, I'm not talking about adding them in. I'm talking about making them more recurring, something that happens 1 in 3 raids or 1 in 5 raids, rather than just the rare occasion we get an event where they put Sanitar on customs by Alamo for a couple of days and everybody in the world goes there and ignores everywhere else on Tarkov, which I think is cool. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying that that dynamic could be done in other ways. Imagine something like, when you turn on the power switch on reserve in the basement, raiders show up. Think about like maybe you unlock the USEC stash on customs over there by the warehouse district. Then all of a sudden a bunch of rogues or raiders, whichever one you want to be story specific to, swarm around you and you got to fight your way out. Or on Woods, you get notification that there's some scav. It could be AI or it could be a player scav, and he has his own mission. And he's got a bunch of, he's currying a bunch of cash for fence, and you got to cut him off before he gets to his extract. And you could try to track him down and kill him, but you also have to realize that other players could be doing the very same thing. And these are essentially more story-driven events, if you will, than what like airdrops do. Airdrops pull people to a point, but they do it in a very simple way. But either way, if they implemented something like this, it would create more raid-specific focal points that would further change up how each of our individual raids go and give players choices to engage or not engage. Give them paths to get around all the action and avoid players altogether if that's what they're after, or go hunt players if that's what they want to do. Now, the last one is taking a mechanic that is everybody knows in Tarkov, the extraction mechanic, and adding conditions to it. Now, we already have this in some cases, whether you're on interchange and you got to hit a button you got to turn power, then you got to hit a button, then you got to close another button to extract, or reserve where you got to turn power on, or some of the many other systems that we have, by paying for a car. But I think one thing DMZ hit out of the park was constantly changing extracts around. They're not 100% random. There's, I don't know, maybe 20 points on the map that can be extracts. But the key is that the extracts are kind of time limited. As the radiation expands, these extracts go away, and then one last extract opens up, and that's it. If you don't get that, you don't get out. And then on top of this, they have a special mission that will actually give you an extract, which is really cool as well, just to build onto this whole process. Now, we already talked about this, an example of this before with, the mission, the in-raid missions with getting a car extract. But imagine if car extracts were only there for a certain window. They were only there from, they don't show up for 10 minutes. They're kind of like the train. They don't show up for 10 minutes and then they leave 10 minutes after that. That's your only window to catch the car. Or better yet, certain in-raid events lock down an extract and make it not possible to be used. Just spitballing, you turn on power on reserve and it closes the scav heating pipe extract. Or only one squad can actually use the RUAF extract on Woods. Once they use it, that extract closes. And if you want to leave via the boat down at the dock on shoreline, you have to bring a green flare with you. You shoot that in the air, a boat pulls up, and that's your extract. These are just my ideas. So by all means, let me know down in the comments anything you think Tarkov could learn from DMZ. I'm not going to be upset if BSG doesn't implement these. It's just cool ideas I thought, things that I enjoyed in DMZ that I think can translate to Tarkov. But we'll wrap the video up there. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll see you in Tarkov.
Really low.
Yo, the crates, somebody's gonna bounce with the crate.